Guess we can wait until, well, my clock says 6:30. Everyone, shall we get started? Okay. All right. Welcome to the November 6th, 2023 regular meeting of the Easton, Massachusetts Planning and Zoning Board. This meeting will be conducted remotely over Zoom. Attendance by board commission members will be remote, and remote attendance shall count towards quorum. The meeting will be broadcast live and recorded on ECAT. To use Zoom, you will need to use the link on the agenda or download the Zoom application. You will need, while conducting meetings remotely, we will endeavor to keep the meeting operations as close to our standard procedures as possible. However, use of this platform will necessitate some additional meeting protocols. While the board members, our commission members, and applicants will be on video and audio, public participants will join the webinar as attendee, meaning they are muted and with no video feed from them. During the public testimony portion of the meeting, members of the public can be recognized by using the raise hand function found under participants from Zoom, or make a request with the Q&A function. If you're joining only by phone, you can press *9 to raise your hand. If an applicant wishes to display materials, please make the request of the chair, and you can either share your screen or email them to the board staff for sharing. Please also provide a copy to the board staff so that we can record those with the minutes. There are a few other details on page 2 of the agenda. But for now, we'll get started with a roll call. Mickey Wolf.
Present.
Kathy Kidd.
Present.
Oh, Amos Kim.
Here.
And Joanne Zigman.
Present.
And Peter Duchesne present. All right, so we have 2 members absent. Kathy Kidd, the alternate, will be a full voting member today. And with that, we'll get started. Well, you should note that we have a couple continuances. Let's see, one being 523 Foundry Street is continued to November 20th. So check the next agenda to see if that is going to happen on the 20th. And Stephanie was Pine Street or Rockland Street. Oh, and
Pine
also
Street, yeah. 165.
Also 165 Pine Street. That is being continued to to November 20th as well.
No, December 4th.
To December 4th. So check the agenda at the end of the month. All right, so now we have 10 Morse Road special permit duplex, South Shore Habitat for Humanity.
Hold on, let's see. So we have Folio, and Maureen.
And Dylan Brown is here, our attorney. Dylan.
Oh, I thought I saw him, and then he kind of disappeared from view.
Okay, hello. Whoever would like to start off, just please introduce yourself.
Sure. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Dylan Brown, and my office represents South Shore Habitat for Humanity, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that is contracted to purchase the vacant parcel of land located at 10 Morse Road in Easton from the town of Easton's Affordable Housing Trust Fund. Along with me tonight is Noreen Brown. Is Sherry Green here tonight, Noreen?
No.
Okay, Noreen Brown, as well as Habitat for Humanity's architect, Paul Balo from Main Street Architect. In short, during the last hearing, the planning board asked that South Shore Habitat for Humanity go back and revise its site plan in order to include some proposed landscaping as well as a possible vegetative buffer to screen the project from the adjacent roadway. Paul and his team has revised that site plan to date, so I'm gonna turn that over to Paul and he can walk you through some of the proposed landscaping as well as the tree frontage along that roadway. So, take it from here, Paul.
My name is Paul Bollier. I'm the architect that works with South Shore Habitat. If I could share my screen.
Yes, please.
Basically, last time the landscaping hasn't changed from the last plan. We were tasked actually at the first meeting to show landscaping. We haven't really changed anything since that, except just altered a little. But what we did do is we worked the street front. So what we talked about is before, obviously, we're Habitat, we're affordable housing. We try to take down as little trees as we possibly can. Obviously, we'll have to take trees down for the curb cut for the driveway. Anything that's impactful of a septic system or our foundations. Our plan along the street side is to leave what's called an 8 to 10 foot buffer of whatever we can, minus the things I talked about, the septic, the driveway, or any dead vegetation. So what we did is we marked out on our plan, and then we followed it up with kind of a Google Earth of that area. Obviously, again, where the driveway and septic system on this end, we might have to take a little bit out. And then we followed it up with photos that kind of better show the vegetation in that area and more or less what we're trying to achieve. And again, like we stressed, we don't really come in and just clear cut lots. Obviously cutting down a lot of trees costs a lot of money too. So I'll be honest on that end, we're affordable and we try to just keep it limited. So we do intend to leave as much of this street vegetation as we possibly can. So that was more or less just what you folks had asked last time, is how much of that can we leave?
Okay, do the board members have any questions? Stephanie, do you have any comments on this aspect?
No,
Nope. Anyone else? No? Okay, and we already reviewed the revised structure plans last meeting. I don't think there are any other open items. Stephanie, do you have any notes
no.
there?
that was it. That was what the board asked for.
All right, so in this case, how about any members of the public? I know we had a neighbor or two that was involved.
Need to,
Participants.
hold on, and I don't see anyone with their hand raised.
Okay, so in this case, this is a special permit. So first of all, we would need to have a motion and a vote to close the public hearing, and then we would actually vote on the duplex special permit.
Motion to close public meeting. Kevin,
Okay.
Second,
Okay.
Wolf.
Yep. Okay, applicants, is that good with you if we proceed here and close the public hearing and vote?
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Right, okay, with that, all in favor, Amos, okay, Kidham,
aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
Kid,
Aye.
and Zigbit,
Aye.
and DeShane, aye, that passes. Well, we closed the public hearing, now we have to make a motion on the actual duplex, so if someone would, go ahead.
Kevin, motion to approve 10 Morse Road special permit.
Second, Wolf.
Okay, all in favor, Zigbit,
Aye.
Kid,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
Kidham,
Aye.
okay, DeShane, aye. So, Stephanie, I don't think we have any really special notes for the
No.
decision, but just get that together and maybe just send it out so we can review it, please.
Yes,
Thank you
And,
all for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
and then, since we had a few meetings here, I appreciate you guys working with us, but we'll try to get those stuff signed for you too, so you can
Great.
start moving along, okay?
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a
Thanks
good
very
night.
much for your time.
Bye-bye.
everybody. Take care.
Good night.
All right. Okay, so now we have one of the continuances is 523 Foundry Street. This one's being continued to November 20th.
Kevin, motion to continue 523 Foundry Street special permit to November 20.
Second, Wolf.
Zigmund.
Okay, I think Mickey beat her to the punch there. Okay, so all in favor, Zigmund.
Aye.
All right, got that one first. Kid.
Aye.
Kidham.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
All right, DeShane, aye. Another one, another continuance. This was so the Pine Street, that was being continued to December, so then what? 4th.
And Peter, a procedural, there's always kind of a question of whether if you're continuing before you've opened the public hearing, whether you open it regardless of whether they're going to have a discussion or not. And I think so we don't lose track of whether we've opened the public hearing or not. I'm going to suggest that you do.
Oh, okay.
And read the opening.
Okay, Suzanne, did you email those minutes to Amos right before we?
I didn't, but it's in the binder.
Yeah,
Amos, can you find
I
that?
won't be able to read because I will start coughing.
Oh, right. In that case, Mickey, do you have access to the binder? Could you read that public hearing notice, please?
Sure, just need just a sec.
Mhm.
What page is it? That might be easier.
It is
Right after the
9.
trees. Yeah.
9? Okay.
Nine.
So I just read from the notice of public hearing?
Yes, please.
Yes.
All right. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 41, Section 81T MGL, the Easton Planning and Zoning Board will hold a public hearing on Monday, October 16th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. to be held remotely on the applications received from Warren Nagin. Definitive subdivision for the creation of a 3 lots residential subdivision at 165 Pine Street to be known as Nagin Estates. Special permit residential compound under 235-42 of the Easton zoning bylaw. This meeting will be remotely conducted via Zoom. A virtual link of the meeting will be contained within the posted agenda at least 48 hours in advance of the meeting. A copy of the application and plan may be viewed on the town website. This notice is also available at the URL provided. Good.
Great, thanks. Nice job.
All right.
All right, now we could continue this to the, now we could continue it, I suppose, now that we've opened it.
I'll motion to continue until December 6th, was it? 4th, December 4th.
Kevin, second.
Okay, all in favor, Kidham?
Aye.
Wolf?
Aye.
Zigmund?
Aye.
Kid?
Aye.
All right, DeShane, aye. Next is a yet another special permit. This one, 24 Rockland Street, special permit, in-law apartment.
And we have David Klimans here for that one, Peter, and David, if there's anyone else, please ask them to, I ask that they raise their hands.
Well, for anyone that wasn't on the board, this is David Klimans. He was a planning board and zoning board member a ways back, if it's David. David, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. And hi, Peter. It's been quite a while.
Yeah, hey, how have you been?
It's all new to me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the online, online
Yeah,
meetings?
the online, yes.
Okay.
My name is David Klimans. I used to be on the planning and zoning board with Peter a few years ago. And I am appearing on behalf of Doug and Marianne Martin, who would like to construct a in-law apartment at 24 Rockland Street. And the reason we're here today is although we're under our 900 square foot limit, we're over our percentage. The zoning bylaws, limit the percentage to 20%, and we're closer to 25%. I've uploaded the site plan and the architecturals. I'll ask any specific questions that anybody wants, but we're seeking to get a special permit to construct the addition, and it will comprise of a mudroom, an in-law apartment. Well, a mudroom that is for the benefit of the host family, the in-law apartment, which is 887 square feet, a breezeway connecting a 3-stall garage. The existing 2-stall garage will be created or will be converted into a great room. If anyone
Okay,
has any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Yeah, we'll look at the plan in a minute, but if you exclude the breezeway from the in-law part, or does that connect the two, or just is the breezeway just connected to the in-law?
And we have a breezeway and a mudroom, and the mudroom connects the in-law to the host family. The breezeway allows the host family to enter the 3-stall garage and not have to go through the
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
In-law apartment. So
Right.
the breezeway is,
It's sort of like common area if it were considered, I know homes don't have common area, but yeah, gotcha.
but in order for the host family to access the garage without going through the in-law apartment, we had to add a breezeway, or the architect added a breezeway.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, Stephanie, you had a few comments there?
One, Suzanne just reminded me that we did not read the public hearing notice.
Yeah, I was thinking that
This
too.
year.
So, yeah, why don't we kick that off? Mickey, you can go ahead again, please.
All right. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 40A, Section 9 and Section 11 MGL, the Easton Planning and Zoning Board will hold a public hearing on November 6, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. to be held remotely on the following application for Doug and Marianne Martin for a special permit in-law apartment under the Easton Code, Chapter 235 zoning, Section 235-44 in-law apartments to allow the creation of an in-law apartment located at 24 Rockland Street, Easton, Mass. Assessors Map 5R, Lot 30B. The agenda with the link to join the remote meeting will be posted 48 hours in advance of the meeting. All are invited to participate. This notice is also available at the following URL.
Great, thanks. All right, now that we opened the public hearing, Stephanie, you had a few comments?
The one comment, and I just had the plan sheet up. One of the plan sheets that was submitted showed the existing garage, the addition, and I think the covered patio area as the proposed in-law apartment. The floor plan, there's a plan inside the floor plan that shows that that's not the case, and that the in-law apartment is as Mr. Clemens stated. But and I think a revised plan sheet was submitted. I don't know if it made it into the packet or not by the time we got it, to indicate that that area was not comprised solely of the in-law apartment, which would have been well over the 900 square feet.
Oh, so that's kind of the back, the patio is in the back.
Yeah, just a point of clarification that
Right, you can kind of see where the house has its different, a double border, whereas the patio has that thinner double border, right? Yeah. Well, can you show us that on the Stephanie? Do you mind sharing if you already have that up?
Well, I'm trying to find the one. I can show you.
Stephanie?
Yeah, do you have it?
I have the site plan up. If I don't know how to show.
Yeah, you can share your screen. If you go, you should be able to look at the bottom of the screen, and there's a green share screen box.
Share screen. All right.
Yep. Yeah, so you click that and then just choose the button screen. That'll just share. If you flip pages, it'll stay on. There you go.
Yeah, let's see if it comes up.
That's
Okay.
it.
And how can I blow that up? So
We can see it fine.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
okay. Can you see my mouse moving?
There we go. That's what I was.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
This area on the site plan that George Collins did is
Sorry.
the entire addition, which includes a 3-stall garage, a breezeway, the mudroom. But it is not, it is not the in-law apartment. The in-law apartment is in this little section right down here. Now I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to change screens. Let's see if this works. This is page 6 of the architecturals. and it's flipped over, but the in-law apartment is this little section right here. And it, consists of their little mudroom, kitchen, dining area, bedroom, bath, and Bob's office.
Yep. Oh, I see. Right. So that breezeway connects to that garage that's at the end there. I see.
Right. That's so the host family can get to the garage without going through.
Yep. And then is the in-law 2 stories or 1?
It's 1 story. The existing host family does have a 2nd story. It's a cape with a couple of dormers on it.
Do you have any elevations, of how this would look, or just
Yes, I do. Or they've uploaded. Let me see how I'm going to get there. I know they're uploaded, Stephanie. I don't know if you can pull them up quicker than I can.
I can. But you need to stop sharing first.
Okay. All right. Let me figure that out. Stop share. There we go.
And everybody should see those now? Or do you see my, yep, okay, good, I can see that. So that's an overall view of the elevations, and I'm presuming that's the front.
In between was the garage.
Right.
That one out.
Correct. This was the garage, and it's going
That
to
becomes
be
the
made
bedroom.
to look like the rest of the house.
okay.
You can see that with the window treatment.
Right.
And
So we're
it's
looking at
actually-
like a linear view, even though it's actually at a right angle.
Right, in this area here actually juts out quite a bit.
Mhm.
And I think there we go, we have other elevations here. So again, this shows this area as being the existing house. This will be the garage converted, and the facade changed to look like the rest of the house. This is the side elevation, and I believe, David, this is the new addition.
But if you move to your right, okay, move a little left.
Because I think this is the existing. This would
That's
be
existing,
deck out
yes.
back,
Right,
and then this
It-
is the new addition,
right.
looking from the right. You're looking
Gunwood.
from the side.
Yeah. And you have a 3-stall garage on the left, a breezeway, and then the in-law apartment is on the right.
So you have that right here. This is what
Yeah.
David just described with the 3-port garage and the breezeway, right?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, does anyone have questions about the architectural plans here? No, and just, for anyone that hasn't memorized the zoning bylaw yet. No? Oh, go ahead.
I have a question. If you can go to the side view and see, is there any change to the driveway?
Oh, hey, that was my question. Yeah. Oh, maybe.
To answer your question, yes, the driveway is going to change because the entire septic system is getting upgraded, and the asphalt's coming up to run some new sewer lines over to the septic system.
You can see that right there.
Okay.
Right, but you still just have one entrance to the driveway, or one entrance, or is that 2?
It'll only be one entrance off of Rockland Street.
Yeah. Okay, I was just going to mention that, Stephanie, the reason that this is a special permit is because in-laws are allowed by right, like under a certain under a certain size, right? Is that
Right, it's either 900 square feet, or it's either 25% of the existing living area or 900 square feet, whichever is less, is allowed by right. And then the board may allow up to 900 square feet if that 25% were going to be less than 900.
yes?
And
So
that's
why it's a
the,
special
that's the
permit that we
case.
have to vote on. Well, I mean, it looks pretty straightforward to me, and I like it looks like they're planning to do a nice job, matching the look of the home. So, does anyone have any other questions?
It looks right. It's a relatively large lot, so
Yeah,
I think the excess of the 5% is.
looks like it would make a nice duplex, but yeah, but it's just a little silly joke there. All right, so I mean, Stephanie, I think here we could just move this along. I think, don't you?
Yes.
All right. Well, in that case, again, being a special permit, we'd close the public hearing, and then if Dave, if that's what you'd like us to do here, then we could take a vote.
Motion to close the public hearing on 24 Rockland Street special permit. Kevin,
Zigmund, second.
Okay. All in favor, good?
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Zigmund.
Aye.
Kidham.
aye.
Shane, aye. Okay, we've closed the public hearing. Now we would have to take a vote on the actual special permit. Amos, was that so moved?
Motion to approve a plan as presented for 24 Rockland Street special permit.
I'll second that, Zigmund.
Okay, all in favor, Zigmund?
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Good.
Aye.
Kidham?
Aye.
Shane, aye. All right, well, that was a pretty fast one there. So thank you, Mr. Clemens. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Peter, and the members of the board. I really appreciate it. This will be a good project.
Yep.
Thank you.
Happy holidays, sir. Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Is that
Thank
bad
you.
to say happy holidays here at November 6th? I guess I saw, I was trying to buy some Halloween things the other day and all they had was Christmas stuff out. So I guess maybe they got to me. All right. Sorry.
All right. Later.
No, goodbye. All right. Back to the agenda here. We have 260 Massapog Avenue, special permit estate lot. Michael O'Shaughnessy, another. Mickey, you're going to be on a roll here because we have
Right.
yet another special permit.
All right, sorry, let me find it.
Yep, that's all right. You didn't know you were up. You don't have to read all those things.
And I just drank a big, huge drink of bubbly water, so we'll see how I do on this.
All right, do you want a second? I want to ask, Mr. O'Shaughnessy, is there anyone else joining you folks tonight
I think it's
on your
just,
side?
I think it's just Craig right now.
Okay,
All right. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 41, Section 81T MGL, the Easton Planning and Zoning Board will hold a public hearing on Monday, November 6, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. to be held remotely on the application received from Jay Zola, trustee of the Zola Family Realty Trust 2, for a special permit estate lot under the Easton Code Chapter 235, zoning 235-43 estate lots to allow the creation of an estate lot at 260 Massapog Ave, Assessor's Map 4R Lot 2B. This meeting will be conducted remotely via Zoom. The virtual meeting link will be contained within the posted agenda at least 48 hours in advance of the meeting. Copy of application and plan may be viewed on the town website. This notice is also available at the following URL.
Okay, great, thanks. Okay, please introduce yourself and can start it up.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and all members of the Easton Planning and Zoning Board. My name is Michael O'Shaughnessy. I'm the attorney for the applicant Jay Zola, trustee of the Zola Family Realty Trust 2. There was an original Zola Family Realty Trust, but they created a second trust who owns this particular parcel. Lot 2 is we filed an approval not required plan with the board. Stephanie, could you pull that up, please?
can Craig not pull it up? I can if I need to, but it's easier if the person doing the presentation does it.
Gotcha.
Just give me a minute. I'm trying to find where it is right now. Sorry. Did I go off? Oh, God.
While you're working on that, have the wetlands already been delineated?
No, the wetlands have not been delineated, but the building has been situated such we think they're way outside the wetland lines. So we weren't planning on having it evaluated.
Yep. Okay, Stephanie, is that how this works? There's no determination needed there if so long as
Generally we check. I don't think there were comments, but I can check that from the conservation agent.
all right. So the conservation agent just
I
reviews
will
this and
check
then-
that right now, though.
Well, Craig's trying to pull up the plan. Again, this is a special permit application for an estate lot. We're looking to form what's called Lot 2 on the A&R plan. Lot 2 was part of a larger plan that the Easton Planning and Zoning Board had previously approved. It was shown as Lot 19 in an old plan. The estate lot here, the plan shows that we can provide the 150 by 150 building area shown on the plans. If you go through the analysis, actually Stephanie did a good job in presenting the analysis. One of the criteria for approving a special permit plan is the submittal of an A&R plan depicting the estate lot, which we've done. The building area shall be designated on the plan. We have the 150 by 150 area shown. The lot of the estate lot at no point shall be less than 40 feet. We meet that quite easily. The lot frontage shall not be less than 40 feet. Our lot frontage is 107.34. And the proposed plans shows that we will comply with all the applicable zoning setbacks. Stephanie analyzes this as a pre-existing estate lot. Is a pre-existing estate lot, the area has to be 3 times the underlying zoning. We are at 148,081 under conventional zoning. It would be 120,000 square feet. In this lot is currently in separate ownership. There we go. So you can see there's the building box that I had previously mentioned in the middle of the screen. Access is off of Massapog down the 40 foot right of way. You can see up in the upper left hand corner by the mouse, it's 107.34. Then it reduces down to 45, then increases up to 46.08 at the rear of the property. I can go through the special permit criteria if you folks like. In determining whether or not to grant a special permit, you folks need to take into consideration social, economic, and community needs which are served by the proposal. Traffic flow, safety, including parking and loading, adequacy of utilities and other public services, neighborhood character and social structures, impacts on the natural environment, and potential fiscal impact, including impact on town services. Again, from our perspective, the estate lot provides a housing opportunity in a well-established neighborhood and desirable area of the town. There is sufficient off-street parking. There's not a safety issue. We meet or exceed AASHTO standards for site stop safing distance. Any utilities that are within Massapog are accessible and can be brought into the site. This project will likely be serviced by an on-site septic system. Again, we're not trying to clear the whole lot. We're trying to confine the building to the building box area. Obviously, people want a yard, but it isn't the intent to go clear the yard. The house will be set back from the road, so it should fit in nicely with the neighborhood. And again, this will help complement the current tax base in the town of Easton. So I think we also satisfy the criteria for an estate lot. That's the 50,000 foot general overview. I'd be happy to respond to any questions that the board may have.
Yeah, right, and the driveway is already in place, right, to serve the other lot or not?
Yeah, so there's an existing gravel driveway that comes down that little portion that you see there. There's two property owners that have an easement over it, an existing easement. It's 264R Massapog. That's to the left of the proposed building area. And then there's a property at the front of the street, 262 Massapog. They also have an easement off of it. The fellow on the other side of the road, his driveway accesses Massapog directly. So that's what's existing out there right now.
Okay, but it's not a common driveway. It's just it's a little bit different because.
Yeah, this is a unique one. This is an existing driveway, and with others that already have rights to use it. So it really, in my mind, doesn't fit into the common driveway mold. Where if we're creating 3 lots here and we control the whole parcel, then I think, that would be appropriate. But
right, and then you just give the new lot access to the easement as well?
What's that, Peter?
Oh, then the access to the easement is given to the new lot as well?
Well, the right to go over the driveway runs with the land. So yes, they have the right.
So it's already attached to it. Yeah, sorry,
well, it's actually going to be, the easement's actually located on lot 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I see. So yeah, lot 2 allows access for everyone else. Okay.
Right.
Yep. Stephanie, what were your comments?
So again, this isn't a road. It is a driveway. They label it as a gravel drive, and it may be pre-existing, non-conforming, but as soon as you add the 3rd lot, using that access. And so can we see the other plan that shows, does the other plan set better show where the gravel drive is?
Yeah, Craig, can you pull up the driveway plan?
You see it here?
Yes.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Yes. So you have that existing drive, and that is, I look at this, is that's part of lot 2, is it not?
Yes.
So if it's part of lot 2, the other properties, this is a common drive to access the other properties.
Yeah, it looks like it could. Well, the fire department hasn't commented yet for a turnaround.
Well, in the memo, Stephanie's memo, it says the fire department, building department, and board of health approved the plan. No adverse comments were received from DPW, historical commission, and affordable housing trust. So
right, and the conservation agent hasn't commented yet.
And then what do? Do you run a water line? Okay, a new water line, or are these all off of one water line?
We would bring a new service down the road to service the proposed lot, the proposed house, which is in the upper right-hand corner.
And how many feet back would the structure, is that building area from Massapog Ave?
Oh, I think it's, do you know what it is, Craig, off the top of your head?
It's about, it's about 300 feet back, 250 feet back to the where the bend of the lot line is.
Right, because over 400 feet, it brings up either like a fire hydrant or a sprinkler considerations, but so all right, Stephanie, do you have well, I can't see the scale here just the way my screen is, but what is the scale on this plan?
Scale on the plan is 1 inch equals 20 feet.
Craig,
Yeah.
if you can raise the plan up, I think the information Peter's looking for is on the bottom. There are some dimensions,
Oh,
Peter.
there you go. Yep.
Yeah, so it's 374 feet along from Massapog Ave to the end of our right of way. Turnaround.
Right, and then the end of the turnaround is approximately where on, if you go back up to the lot?
Now over here,
Yeah, to the building.
right with
envelope.
these people, they have their
Okay, right, yeah,
existing
yeah, so, yeah, so it's like 400 to like the Mansfield line almost,
Mm.
like that. Yeah, okay, all right, yeah, so it might be that one of our, conditions is that you have your own designated, water line, water service from the road, okay? So Stephanie, were you thinking that there's, we have to consider the use of this right of way for the access in a little more detail?
I don't, when you say a little more
Oh,
detailed,
okay, well, yeah, okay, so.
I'm just raising the question because
Yeah, okay,
again,
right, so now it's serving.
it's not, it
Or-
doesn't appear to be a named way.
Mhm, right.
It is currently, it looks like it's currently gravel and they're proposing. And they identify it as a proposed gravel drive. So again,
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like, just, in fairness, right, we were looking at like Reardon Way and there was we had multiple meetings just to figure out what was gonna happen with
Yeah.
that. And this
Yeah.
is like a longer road really than Reardon Way is. It's a little different situation, Reardon Way was asking, they needed the frontage, but at the same time, it's a similar circumstances.
yeah, I mean, I don't have an answer. And
Mm-hmm.
one of my suggestions was maybe talking to town council.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. Other board members, do you have any questions for the applicants here?
No, but I just support that. I feel like this is kind of a legal issue and it'd be good to have advice from town council. Because it's not a road, it does look like a common driveway. And then there's the question of how many folks can be, or how many buildings can be using that shared drive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, how long has has that easement been in place?
The plan I was looking at today was from 1951. And that was for the property in the rear, the existing house number 264R.
Mhm.
In the
And
house up. Pardon?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought someone said something. In the house, at the near the street was granted their easement. I want to say in the 80s when that house was constructed.
Mhm.
So they've been there. It's been used as a way for a while.
I mean, they're clearly where they've been deeded the easements and they're an existing non-conformance.
Yep. Right, yeah, so we have town council look at it and maybe we could
And
ask for a certain condition of the road, right? We want the
Yeah.
road to be a certain width and have a little maintenance schedule and, make sure that it's, in the right, in good shape.
Right, I mean, that's the other thing, when the board approves common driveways, they require a homeowners association or some kind of covenant that governs the maintenance of the road and who's going to take care of it. And that hasn't been put forth here.
So,
if I may, there's two things. Number one, our meeting tonight is for the special permit for the estate lot. We did not file for
Yeah, for a common
the
driveway.
common driveway because we don't believe it's needed.
yep, yeah, that's exactly why we just,
I have no issue with you folks checking with the town. And again, according to the notes, the building department seemed to approve the plan. So I guess from their perspective, and I don't want to speak for them, that they were okay with what we have proposed. Again, this is unique. And I got to be honest with you, I struggled with this to see if we needed to file for the common drive. I can't get myself to go there at this point in time, just because of the fact these were existing easements and they have the right to travel over this roadway. And I guess it's not clean as I'd like it.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm looking at it, is that, but it's still a special permit for an estate lot, right? So we can, review the plan, ask for, put different conditions on there, like such as like keeping that easement in a certain level of, repair and
Absolutely.
Bring it up.
And we would have no issue with that if we had to maintain the.
Like if the fire department had said, hey, we want a turnaround, then, we could tell you that you have to have a turnaround. That's really, that would be how that would go,
Sure.
I think. Yeah, right. So,
Yeah, I agree.
but they didn't.
Absolutely.
So, we're not just gonna tell you need one now. I don't think. All right, yeah. So we don't and we have like common driveway guidelines, so we're thinking of it that way, but we're not. I don't think any of us said you have to do it. No, it's our opinion. You have to do it.
Right, and I think if you look at the detail, we're pretty close to the common driveway standards anyway. So it's that's the struggle here.
Well, so again, I think that, this is a special permit. It clearly meets the requirements for the estate lot. No question about that. It's whether it's sharing a driveway with the other properties, and if that creates an additional nonconformity. I didn't have a chance to talk to the building inspector and get his thoughts on that.
And again, this would only service.
Mr. Chair, may I?
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
Opinion. So it is in general a known issue that when you add something new, and this case is a lot, and I believe if you have a lot, the intention is to build a house there, is that it usually brings the need to conform. Because when you add something new and you build, usually that's a major issue for many cases. Therefore, I think that town council should bring an opinion on this and see if this meet the requirements legally.
Right. So I'm just zooming on my screen. So it looks like we're gonna maintain a 12-foot wide gravel drive, which was it's a little bit tight for passing vehicles, but not unreasonable. There are some roads and not around here that are narrower than that. So now on the plan, if I zoom in, I don't know, maybe around like 200 feet down or so, it shows the existing gravel drive, and then you have the proposed drive. So does that mean you're actually going to widen the full length to the full 12 feet?
Yeah, that's our intent, Peter, just to keep it clean. Again, when we looked at this, we the bylaw requires 12 feet, so we're trying to get it as close to what the bylaw requires.
All right, and then it looks like you can do that without moving all those stone walls or anything, or too many trees. So
no, we're not. We're trying to maintain all the stone walls. We don't want to touch the stone walls. I know the board has like stone walls. I like stone walls, so why not leave them?
And is the electric underground or overhead?
I think the electric would be underground.
Is it underground to the existing homes?
I don't know the answer to that. I was down there the other day. I didn't notice any overhead wires. So
yeah, if we drove down there to check it out, it would be like we're just like pulling someone's driveway and have to turn around. I don't like to do that.
No, it's right across from the park that's down there. Actually, I think this was an old road at one point in time that came from Sharon. To be honest with you. But no, you can pull right in. Once you get down the end where the existing house 264R is, it gets a little tight. I didn't go down there. There was barking dogs and all that, so I didn't want to.
That's why I don't like. Yeah, that's why I'm not the dogs, but just always feel a little weird driving down like this, like someone's driveway. Yeah. Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions? I think we're just gonna the plan is here, we're gonna continue and Stephanie's gonna talk to
Peter,
the building inspector.
we
Yeah?
do have a member of the public whose hand is raised.
Oh, great. Let's see what they have to say.
So let me. um,
The street view doesn't
We actually
show.
we have two. Someone else raised their hand,
Yeah, okay.
but I'd let the first person speak.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, board. Can you hear me? Just want to make sure.
Yeah, hi, just please introduce yourself and state your address for the record.
Absolutely. Name's James Rayfeld. I'm at 262 Massapog Avenue. And I've been here for about 10 years now. And if you guys want to come down and take a look at the area, more than welcome to come down, park in my driveway. I'll show you around. I'm encouraged by the board already acknowledging that the town has a policy on a maximum of 3 residents or 3 homes having access to a shared driveway. What's not being mentioned, I think, is the existing right-of-way that 256 also has off of this property. So they already have a right-of-way, we have a right-of-way, and then 264R is the 3rd right-of-way. That would make it 4 coming off of this shared driveway. And while you mentioned that it would be a little bit tough to pass, it is impossible to pass a car going through this. I can tell you that right now.
No, right, yeah, it might need like a kind of a spot where you can kind of pull over to the side a little, if that's not even, it might not even be available here, right?
I'll fire up the Jeep if you guys want me to. I actually poked a hole in my exhaust the other day, trying to get around one of the cars coming in to look at the open house in the 264 lot. So it's pretty tight, and there's not a possibility of anybody passing each other. But we've still got the 3 houses off of that shared driveway. It's absolutely a driveway. It's not a road at all. More than welcome to come up. Like I said, the driveway also has really high lines of sight, and I like the rock wall, don't get me wrong. Gonna do something with the rocks we dig out of our yards here. But the line of sight with young kids on both sides of that easement, an increase of 25% in the traffic there, it's already going to drive more Amazon drivers, lost drivers that try to go to Borderland and try to skirt the parking rules for Borderland, and that creates an even greater safety issue. I think this does fit the mold of a common driveway. It's absolutely a mold there, and no way that these cars can pass each other. I'm sorry?
Oh, I think that was some background noise.
Okay, my apologies then.
Yeah.
Another concern that I would have if this was built is water pressure. After this trust's most recent project on Massapog Avenue, our water pressure dropped to about 30 PSIs, especially as they were watering their lawn when we weren't allowed to. But then maintenance plan, hoping that we can get a maintenance plan. I've been the sole provider of any plowing, tree removal, leaf removal, pothole repair for the past 10 years. And if we do want to override that conformity, of the shared driveway bylaws, at the very least, I'd hope to request that that rear lot owner submits that written plan in advance. The drawing, looks like it's going to impact my poor driveway. Just checking on what the plan is there, what kind of mitigation efforts we can expect when it comes to more traffic on it. And what about dust mitigation from construction vehicles entering and exiting the gravel driveway? And that's it. That's all the questions I had.
I have a question for you. This is exactly in front of the entrance to the mansion on the Borderland Park, right?
That's right. Yep. The house that has the American flag in the front yard.
With 4 or 5, whatever number of houses are here, and the trouble of delivery and everything else, we need also to consult about traffic and maybe a stop sign as well. So.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your comments, sir.
Peter, we have another person that I will allow to speak.
Yep. Okay. Once again, once you're with us, please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, this is Christian Picard. I'm at 256 Massapog. So yeah, I'd like to follow up on the the common driveway bylaw as well. So, you know, as you can see here, there is, you know, access to 256, you know, on the side there, a parking area. And, you know, looking at the deed, it does have, you know, similar language or the same language as others on the drive. And, you know, certainly it's use it for parking, overflow parking, contractor access, deliveries. You know, if there was a fire in the back of my house or somebody got injured in the backyard, those are, you know, that's an access point that would be used rather than the front driveway. Some other, you know, questions on this plan. You know, there's two little kids at 262. I have two little kids. You know, there's a lot of activity around this drive. You know, right now I do have a stone wall in the back, or there is a stone wall in the back. That you know, provides a little bit of a buffer there that, you know, I was actually looking to potentially extend at some point. It looks like that's going to be cleared potentially with a tree, but now I'm hearing that it's not going to be cleared. So it just gives me some concern that there's some inconsistencies in the plan versus, you know, what may be done. So if the plan is to clear the rock wall, you know, I'd rather have it moved and you know, to have some buffer there between the, you know, the stretch of my backyard and then the easement, if there's going to be increased traffic. Because even with the one house there, with everything being on demand, there's a lot of delivery trucks coming in and out and things like that. So that's a concern. I know somebody asked about electric. You know, that stretch of Massapog is notorious from, you know, Rockland on is notorious for losing power. Everything's above ground there. And I think there's a small line of that goes up the easement that serves, you know, 262 and the house in the back. So something to keep in mind. Let me see here. You know, utilities. So it sounded like a water main would go up the easement. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we just talked about, no, they would just run their own, like, you know, a designated water line for the new home. If some of the other neighbors didn't have that when they built their homes, that's might be why they have lower water pressure. But this particular one, as part of our, if we were to approve it, you know, a condition would be that they have their own water line, not a water main, just a, you know, an access for like for a single family residence.
Yeah, and obviously it's not to the plan where they know what heating is going to be or anything like that. But those are also, you know, where does that go and what effects does that have, as well as septic. You know, it just said that there was testing to be done. I know a wetlands permit was mentioned. This is also, I think, endangered species habitat. So that also needs to be addressed if and when this goes forward for natural heritage endangered species program. That's potential endangered species habitat on that back. And then finally, you know, one of the criteria is, you know, the aesthetics of the neighborhood and things like that. So not this plan, but I think it's the A&R plan. I was wondering if someone can walk me through, you know, this is going to be a large project in my backyard. You know, I'm not going to really want to look at that, and they're not going to really want to look at me. What's the width of the wooded buffer? Is there going to be a wooded buffer there? And can somebody walk me through what the, you know, width of that would be, and can that be maximized?
Yeah, could the applicants help us with that?
Sure. I don't believe there's any requirements for buffers in Easton. But I think I had spoken to the gentleman earlier in the week, and we could you know, maintain a 20-foot existing tree buffer. I don't think that would be an issue. We could probably show it on the plan as well. Do you have any issue with that, Craig?
No, I'm sure there's a building setback of at least 20 feet to build anyway, so.
We could probably maintain a tree buffer on that eastern corner. Just looking at the plan here, the 736.75 line, we could probably keep something there.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, if this were a conforming lot, you could just, with frontage, you just go to the building inspector and get a building permit without even coming here, right? But I don't think that's the case. Yes. So that'd be great. Maybe you could put that on the plan for the next meeting.
Sure.
You can do that. Yep.
Thanks. Oh, was there anything else?
No, I just was I accurate with the rock wall comment, or is that is that rock all gonna stay? Do we know?
So you're talking about the stone wall in the middle of the roadway there where it shows a 3 foot clear
Yeah,
area?
yes.
Craig, could you address that?
Sure, the majority of the stone wall that starts on Maspog Avenue comes around is outside of the area that would be used. There's a break in the wall in this area.
Right.
And then there's the remaining piece of a stone wall here. The way we have it drawn, because of where the existing gravel driveway is, and we meet the existing paved driveway at house number 262 to make the 12-foot wide and then a 3-foot clearing. Those stones would fall on that 3-foot clearing, but they're only 1 to 2 stones high, so I don't believe you'd have to remove them. They may have to be shifted over, but our property line is over here. This is the property line of this 45-foot right away. So the stones are the original old pathway that exist. So they could, if needed, be moved over. They're sitting on the ground. They're not buried in the soil. So it's just the remainder of a piece of stone wall. There is an oak tree right here that's outside of where we're planning. But again, the clearing is just for site, I assume. So the stones would not impact the ability to be considered cleared. And we still be able to maintain our 12 feet that we are proposing through here.
Right. So from memory, I think those stones are maybe foot and a half high top. They're not very tall. So I think at this point, I don't see any reason why we would have to move them. I think our preference would be to leave them there.
Okay, thank you for the time.
Thank you. Any other board members? Do you have any questions or suggestions or comments?
Mr. Chair, what about the comment I made about safety? This is really an intersection if you think about it.
Okay, right.
There is
so
an entrance to the Borderland mansion on the other side, and then this driveway on the other side. So it's just a consultation with DPW or whoever.
I mean, we could put up a stop sign if you want. I don't. I think.
No, let's whoever decide in town about these things get an opinion on that. That's all.
Yeah, I'd suggest maybe board members, if you have time, just kind of like drive by and take a quick look, just to so we can kind of see what this really looks like in real life. I don't think we need to schedule a site walk, but if maybe if just take a look, and if if you feel like we should do a site walk, then we could all get together and go there and look at it. But yeah, I know what you mean, almost, but I just need to actually see that in person to have a better idea of what maybe we could suggest to make it safer, or if that's needed. Yeah, all right, well, in that case, just continue to the next meeting. Is that sound okay with the applicants?
Yeah, that'd be fine with us.
Yeah, and I think right now for the plan, all we really need from you is just is the buffer.
Yeah.
When is next meeting?
It was the November.
For December, oh no, November 20th.
Do you need a motion, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, go ahead.
Motion to continue 260 Maspog Avenue special permit to November 20th.
Second, Wolf.
Okay, all in favor, Kadam?
Aye.
Wolf?
Aye.
Zygmunt?
Aye.
Kid?
Aye.
Right, Deshane, aye. All right, thanks for presenting that. We'll see you in a few weeks, and look forward to reviewing what you have.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, goodbye. We have 20 South Street Flexible Development, Old Forge Commons, request to release remaining lots. Stephanie, I don't know if there's anyone here, but I think you had some details.
We have Bill Humphrey.
Oh, all right. Well, hello, go ahead. Please introduce yourself for the record.
Hi, Bill Humphrey, owner of Old Forge Commons.
Great. Welcome.
Good evening.
To release some lots. What's the status of the road progress?
Yeah, could I
Oh.
could I just explain this one? So
Okay.
Mr. Humphrey, the board will recall that Mr. Humphrey came in, he had a certain amount of money, cash that he deposited for surety for the road construction. And then the board, some roadway work was completed, and the board met on July 10th, and based on the street inspection report, voted to recommend the partial release of the surety funds, with the town holding $223,661. And it was the intent that all the lots be released at that time. And they were not. The board did not take a second vote to release the remaining lots. So Mr.
We
Humphrey
released
came
like the
in.
partial funds, but not the lots that, right, yeah. Right.
Right, right. So
Okay.
this is to release the remainder of the lot, so they can be sold.
Right, well then, maybe just remind us, I'll give us an update on, is all the stormwater complete?
Can I just add to that?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So that is what actually happened was all the work was done, and the bond was the amount that was supposed to be posted was 300 and change. And at the meeting, I requested, I said, I don't have the funds right now. Can we release? The lots were 1, 16, 15, 14, 12.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, thanks.
So I said, look, I'm $100,000 short, but in 30 days I will have the money. Can you just release those? And you said, yes, will. And you did, and you voted on it. And then within 30 days, I came in and I posted the other $100,000 to release the other lots. So all the work was already done. Everything was done. So I was just, because I didn't have the other $100,000, which I came up to it and I gave it to you guys, and that was a long time ago. So that was just, it was just clerically, they were supposed to be released, and they weren't. So it was supposed to be voted on by you guys, and you didn't. So
when did you bring that last final 100,000 to the town?
Yeah, 30 days later. That was back in the spring. That was in the spring.
Yep.
Right. And just to be clear, the road is not fully completed. There's still like the top course that needs to be done and things like that, but there's sufficient cash and surety being held by the town against that remaining work.
Okay, so so the idea is to release all the remaining lots. Is that what Mr. Humphrey's looking for, Stephanie? What you recommend?
Yes, I do recommend releasing the rest of the lots.
Is a motion to that effect adequate?
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions? The way this works is that, you know, when a project comes up, the developer has to put up some sort of a surety to make sure that the road gets built the way it's supposed to. As they get work done, then we can release all or part of that money as the road is completed. And we're at that point right now. So we've reduced the amount of money that we're holding. And just as a part of that, we're also holding some lots, and you know, the lots can't be built on until we release them. So that's what we could do now if we made a motion to release the remaining lots. Is there any questions or any public comment? No. Is there a motion to release the remaining lots?
I'll motion to release the remaining lots.
Second, Sigmund.
Okay, all in favor, Wolf?
Aye.
Kadam.
Aye.
Good.
Aye.
Siegman.
Aye.
Okay, that passes. The lots are yours.
So I have one other small problem.
Oh, well, you should tell us that before we release the lots. No, okay, no, as-
Before the lots released, I wanted to make sure you guys voted on it.
Mhm.
I've been being taxed on these lots being released, just to let you know.
And that's okay.
And no, it's not okay. I've been paying a lot of money for lots that were supposed to be released, and I've been paying taxes on them being
Oh,
released.
okay, I don't think that, so,
I know. I
I
just
don't
Sounds
think
like for the
that's
treasurer or
board's-
something.
I
Yeah.
just want to be on record.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, if and when you want lots released, you have Stephanie's number, you can text me or something, so if you feel like you need lots released and that we owe you some lots released, probably easy enough to give us a call and ask us to do that, but yeah.
Peter, I thought they were released. That was
I
the
got you.
agreement.
Yeah.
So back then, what
Well-
I was supposed to do is give the $100,000 and they were supposed to be released back in the spring. This just didn't happen.
Yeah.
It was clerical. This should have been done.
So,
It's
so
not on
Bill,
my part. I did everything on my part.
I think that's something we can discuss and see if there might be some remedy.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Very good. You too. Thank you.
All right, let's see. Next is Goodspeed Estates, Backcut LLC, modification of subdivision decision. This is where we were looking at the solar lights, and Stephanie, you have some information for us?
Well, Paul Prue is here and he has information,
Okay.
and what I included in the binder
Mhm.
was information that Mr. Prue and, you know,
Okay, once you're ready, please introduce yourself for the record.
Sure, Paul Prue for Goodspeed Estates. And I think this has already been introduced because the follow-up questions came from when I dropped off. So if that's the case, I can just pick up from there. I don't know. It seems to me like you raised some questions probably based on my initial petition. Is that fair? You've read the petition or the letter?
Yes, so it was to rather than hardwiring the lamp posts at the end of the driveways, you proposed to use solar lamp posts, and then we just had a few questions regarding like if that was okay with the homeowners as far as the maintaining those things like that. And
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. So what we did was we tried to answer your questions as thoroughly as possible, in terms of each one that were laid out in an email to Stephanie. And I hope you have those. In terms of specific question, Peter, regarding whether everybody's on board with this, we had the opportunity to deal with 5 of the existing homeowners there, and all of them are in favor of this modification. I would call it a minor modification. It's up for you to decide. Because of the nature of the development right now, this is really one of the last things that has to go into the landscape plan. We're very, very near completion, and we want to get this wrapped up while we can this year, hopefully in a event by the end of the year. So we'd like to get this done. And this is really one of the few impediments that we have to traverse. Some of the issues involve drainage that had to be put in. If we have to wire, there's significant, it may not even be able to be put in with 1 foot reveal from the road as in a detail, as required by the detail. But there's irrigation, there's already plantings, there's already a established lawn. In one particular case, somebody went out and spent a lot of money on hydro seeding, and there's also a driveway that would have to be traversed. And probably most importantly, one of the things is that we'd have to go across wetlands, go out to 7 and 8, which are the 2 larger homes in the back. They would have to go across in order to get to the hard wire into their houses. So there are some impediments to that. And then if we didn't do that, we could bring it across where the electricity comes from the common septic system, which has to be electrified. But of course, then you have a to who's going to pay for that because it's an HOA, as you might recall. So there are just some logistical problems associated with it. We've gone with the best possible solution. We think the technology is going to get better and better over a period of time, and hopefully be able to evolve with it. But I think this is probably the way everything is going, and we'd like to just have a minor modification to allow this to occur, to install these particular units, which would allow us to pretty much tidy up the end of the landscaping. I don't know if you guys have gone out there to see it. It's pretty nice area with the landscaping mostly done. 2 more houses to be built. One is being constructed very soon, and the other one is in plan approval now. So this is just one of those housekeeping matters that we hope we can expedite so we can get to the turnover event and let the Goodspeed homeowners deal with their issues and deal with the association as they deem appropriate. But there has been no pushback or anything on the part of any of the homeowners.
Mm-hmm. Okay, right. So right now, all you're asking is just to make a minor modification to the subdivision to allow the solar lamp posts that you have specified.
That's correct. I think there's 2 votes that have to be taken. I think you have to deem it a minor modification, and then you have to vote to see if it's an appropriate minor modification that could be modify the decision.
Yep. Stephanie, did you have any other comments on this?
Nope, that sums it up.
All right, board members of the public, do you have any comments regarding the solar lamp posts? Not anything else on the project here. That would just a really small change. Doesn't sound that way. So if we thought this would be a minor modification, we could make a motion to decide to call it that. Does everyone agree that this is a minor modification to a subdivision? A major modification or like a regular modification would require possibly like a new plan set and just maybe a public hearing. But minor is kind of just a minor change where we don't have to go through that whole process.
So do you need me to make a motion that it's a minor modification?
Yeah, let's start that way.
That was a tongue twister. Make a motion for a minor modification of Goodspeed Estates.
Yep. Is there a
Kevin, second.
Okay, all in favor, Zygmunt?
Aye.
Good.
Aye.
Wolf?
Aye.
Kadam?
Aye.
Right, DeShane, aye. Okay, now the next motion would be to approve the minor modification requested regarding the solar light posts.
Motion to approve the minor modification for the solar light posts.
Kevin, second.
Zygmunt, I'll second.
Okay, okay, all in favor, Zygmunt?
Aye.
Wolf?
Aye.
Kadam?
Aye.
Good.
Aye.
Shane, aye. Okay, that passes. Thanks for that additional information. Maybe we'll see you soon, or maybe you'll.
All right.
We'll see you then.
All right. Thank you very much, all.
Good night. Bye-bye. See, so now we have a meeting schedule to look at. Well, has everyone looked at the meeting schedule? Would you like to look at that first and then maybe just like email some comments to Stephanie? If you know like certain dates don't work well, if we find that like 4 of us have a day that doesn't work for anyone, then we just we wouldn't put that on the schedule.
So Peter, I am going to comment.
Mhm.
Is it okay if I speak now? I'm sorry. I didn't
Yes, go ahead.
So again, looking at the schedule, it actually looks like there are far fewer meetings that the board would be meeting that aren't on the same night as the select board.
Okay.
And part of the reason for that is the select board does not, they try very hard, unless they're holding special meetings ahead of, say, town meeting or something like that, that they don't hold meetings on another date, so they
Yeah.
want a consistent pattern of holding their regular meetings on Monday evenings.
Mhm.
And so we do have 4 Tuesday meetings, and oh yeah, so it doesn't look quite as bad. I was overlooking that, but so we do have a couple of Tuesday meetings
Mhm.
scheduled so that we don't conflict with the
Okay.
select board on those particular weeks.
Was
So I
everyone
just
think
wanted to
we
point
do the
those out.
Tuesday meetings? Yeah, when's the first Tuesday meeting?
The first Tuesday meeting is April 16th.
Okay.
That is Patriots' Day. We do have Monday, April 29th scheduled for Suzanne, you have that as Passover, but I thought in the past we tried to avoid holding meetings on the
the whole
Jewish
week.
holidays.
Yeah.
I'd have to take a look.
Um,
I think
and-
the holiday identified means that it was moved.
Oh,
To
that
avoid the
it's moved,
holiday.
April 22nd. I see what you're saying. Yes, sorry. And that, so then we have looks like Memorial Day weekend, May 20. So the meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, May 28th. And then we have Tuesday, October 8th because the 14th is Indigenous Peoples' Day.
Oh, so I just
And
realized
then
I'm
the
not
last
prepared
one
yet,
would be
maybe I can
December
do it.
17th.
All right, well, yeah, I think if everyone just takes a chance to review that, then I think we can get back to you, and rather than reviewing everything right here.
Yep.
That's what we've done in the past. It worked pretty well. So yeah, please review that before the next meeting. And if you have any particular comments about days where you won't be around, let us know. Or if Tuesdays just don't work for you, let us know, and we'll see what we can do.
And is the intention to continue with Zoom through the whole calendar year next year?
Well, what does everyone think? Would you rather meet in person or on Zoom?
I would prefer Zoom. I have an hour's commute, and it would be difficult to make the 6:30 times, or it would be a very cranky, very hungry Mickey.
Yeah, I have people ask me once in a while and say, "Oh, well, other people meet in person." Well, I say, "Well, we try to be accommodative, and it's been working for us, right? I mean, I don't think it's hampering our ability to do what we need to do." But with that said, I think we should start working in some in-person meetings too. So maybe the Tuesday meetings would be in person, and we could either pick an in-person one for before the end of the year or early at the beginning of next year, if that's okay with everyone.
I mean, my recommendation would be to maybe look at the agenda for items that we think might be appropriate for an in-person meeting. Sometimes they're pretty procedural, and there's really no point in doing those in person, I don't think.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have the quick meetings anymore. Once in a while we have a quick one, but sometimes in the summer. But yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, there have been a few recently where we could have decided to have those in person, right? Because there was a little more public involvement.
And when we talk about in person, that's still a hybrid option. The room that we would use would have that option for people as well, or would we be strictly in person?
We talked about that as well. Hybrid does create a few challenges for whoever's hosting, especially if someone's asking them to share their screen because they don't know how to share their screen, and they're trying to recognize the public, right? It's not like a hybrid meeting with at work where you have 10 people and everyone's in their office, and we know who's the attendees are, right? It's kind of it's always kind of fluid here at these meetings because we have different people coming in that need to raise their hand to be recognized and share materials. So yeah.
And I
I feel like we talked about, guys, Stephanie?
Oh, no, I was going to say it depends, because I think the only meeting room that we have available within the town offices that is equipped to do hybrid is the select board meeting.
All right, yeah.
The Corona meeting room. But I think one of the things that we are trying very hard is to push back on the applicants that they need to do their own presentation.
Mhm.
you can see the challenges there. And I don't understand after all this time why it seems to be so difficult. Certainly if it were, you know, someone who's just a homeowner. But we really see that because the board needs to see plans. And they generally need to submit plans, and there's always an engineer involved with that.
Right, yeah, so you know, we could try hybrid sometime, you know, when we have if we're in person, we have like a, you know, not too bad of an agenda. Would that be okay with you, Stephanie, if we try that sometime? Maybe, you know, maybe the first one we'll just do in person, and then we can try a hybrid the next time or something, just see how the different mixes go. Okay.
And also just to kind of put it out there, I'm okay with completely virtual as well too. I mean, I wasn't on this board beforehand, and if it's working and you guys aren't seeing less engagement than before, then that's an indicator that it's great. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. I was just wondering about the other options.
Yeah, it's been more in some cases, I think, but who knows? You know, I guess you don't really know until you have the same thing and have this exact same meeting in person and see. But I don't. Just in general, we've had some pretty well attended meetings. So you know, when they were an issue, people had felt wanted to meet about. So yeah, but I still feel like at least having some in person meetings would be just kind of a good direction to go, and just to then, you know, how do we know until we go back to in person and try a few out? We don't know what works better. So it's probably a good time to at least start mixing it up a little bit.
Peter, we could meet without having a meeting too.
Oh, you mean just, well, yeah, I'm not to say we're just gonna meet to hang out. I think we should meet just you know, have to see how the in-person meeting you know, get back to it a little bit and see how it works, right? If maybe we'll just say, hey, that was kind of pointless, or maybe we'll say, hey, that was actually pretty good. So you know, that's the way I think about it. But I think I'm hearing from most of the other members that they probably prefer remote.
I mean,
I'm okay with both.
Yeah, I'm good with I would prefer mostly remote, but if you give me a heads up and I can down a couple of espresso shots and have a power bar, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. We don't want you to get over caffeinate you just to meet in person. So we'll test it out. You know, if you start reading the minutes as fast as I talk sometimes, then maybe we'll have to go back to remote.
If you tell me what you want, I can bring you the coffee.
We'll save you time. Amos will save you time. I'll get the coffee. All right. I have an espresso maker here. We don't use it that often. So let's see. The meeting minutes from October 16th were in the packet. I don't think I had any questions.
I'm okay. I'm okay with them.
Yep. Okay. Did anyone have any changes for that? Do you have a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay. All in favor? Kidd.
Aye.
Zigbet.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Tatum.
Aye.
And DeShane, aye. All right. We have a chair report. Not too much. Stephanie and I actually met with the people from 464 Foundry Street. That is the vacant lot next to Harbor One across from Burger King. That's where we had approved a multifamily, and they were we're thinking about asking for some hopefully minor changes, just to keep the project economically feasible with the high interest rates, etc. So nothing's been decided. We kind of talked about it. They had a few ideas, and they might come back to us with something sometime soon or eventually, if they feel like they need to make any changes to what we already approved. Stephanie, do you have any? I see you have updates, and then you also have community housing zoning on your updates, and then the draft zoning submittal.
Yeah. So, well, that's kind of all one thing. We had on, you'll remember that our project plan outlining when we would do certain things related to the community housing zoning, MBTA communities. and have things done. And one of them was we wanted to make sure we had plenty of time to submit a draft of the zoning to the Office of Housing and Livable Communities so that they can review it and provide comments back and assure us that what we're proposing will pass if it's adopted at town meeting. Because once you adopt the zoning at town meeting, it has to go again to Housing and Livable Communities for them to do a final blessing. They're requiring a 90-day turnaround period for that. And in order for us to get those comments back within 90 days prior to town meeting and make any changes that they might require, we need to submit that today, or actually it will be tomorrow. But what we want to do is we've already drafted and the board has gone through the language that would be changed and amended in the zoning bylaw. And basically what we're proposing is what the dimensional requirements would be, what would be allowed. And if the new, I think everyone's seen, maybe Kathy has not seen, you were just recently appointed, maybe Joanne. We'll make sure you get copies of that. But it basically replaces the existing multifamily zoning language embedded in the bylaw itself, which the existing zoning effectively disallows or zones against multifamily. You have to have a 60,000 square foot lot, and you can only have 3 dwelling units, and in total you can only have 3 bedrooms on that 60,000 square foot lot. But then you could have, you know, if you wanted to add an additional unit, you would have 20,000, you would add 20,000 square feet. But again, you still have this bedroom limit that makes it economically totally undoable. So we're proposing replacing that language with the language that we've reviewed before. We're also going to submit the potential districts that are under consideration as they're currently standing, just to ask them to run them through the compliance model. We made some adjustments to those districts and we've run them through the compliance model ourselves. We've made the adjustments within the model and we're feeling pretty comfortable with that. But if we're going to make any other adjustments to those districts, we want to know that the way we made the changes and we interpreted how you would make the changes in the compliance model work. So
when you say we made the changes, you're talking about the changes that we talked about, like at our public hearings, right?
Yes, yes, during the public hearing. So in one of the early meetings, the board removed any of the properties that we had shown on the south side of Foundry Street in the Foundry Eastman district, and then added the parcel, I refer to it as IBC, but it's one of the Belmont Street properties into the Belmont Washington Street district. And in the packet, you have a cover letter that we intend to include with that draft zoning.
Yep, I saw that. Yeah, right. So I know once again, you know, this is all preliminary, but we have to start somewhere and give the state something to look at, so that we have time to do our work, you know, as a board and with the town.
This is
possibly have something ready for a town meeting vote. That's where we are here. Does anyone have any questions about that? I want to be specific though, you know, just in case anyone's watching this meeting now in the future. You know, we have not decided on anything, especially the zoning, you know, the zoning map changes, right? So we identified 3 areas that we're going to have the state look at and tell us if they're in compliance. We can still vote for all, some, none of them. So that's where we are, and we just have to. We put a decent amount of work into this, and now we have something that we can show the state and to make sure we're on the right track. Really, do you guys have questions?
So are we including 3 areas? Yeah.
So we're sending them the 3 districts that are under consideration. So I'll just read this, and this is for the benefit of also of anyone in the public that's listening tonight. So we have, the town is in the process of presenting the 3 potential districts to Easton residents for comment and input through a series of hearings, public information sessions, and online self-review and comment. It's expected that the final version of the sub-districts will be modified to some degree in response to the public feedback, and may even result in only one area being proposed as the overlay district. So we want people to know that, you know, this is not a foregone conclusion, that, you know, there will be public input and feedback sessions.
Yep. Right, and, you know, and for me, you know, there's no way I'm ever going to vote for all 3, to include all 3, like in their current state. So we're not going to overdo this as long as I have a vote. But so that being clear, does anyone have any questions?
I'll just say, I just think it's a great idea to submit it ahead of time, just to be sure everything kind of checks the boxes moving forward. So
Right, so that like brings up to that, so then we like almost like, well, the beginning of February, right, is when we'd receive a response by Stephanie. Are they running at least on time, like as 90 days? Are they holding to 90 days?
All we know is that they still have not provided final approval on the zoning from the towns that passed theirs at town meeting.
Oh, well.
Which is, again, why we really want to keep ahead of this on this.
Yeah, well, if you had
early
anyone, you know, in town that was you know, had like a little influence in that thing, you know, where like they could get like have the state kind of push things back so that the towns could make sure they do a really good job and not feel pressured by state deadlines that are not even gonna get us there. That might be good, right? So but just an idea. You know, sometimes no need to rush something, and if it's not going to be the quality of a product at the end, when it's so important.
I just wanted to finish. I just wanted to say thank you to Stephanie and to her staff for kind of getting this all together and getting it, having it in a shape that it could be submitted. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been a joint effort, as I think many of you know. Wayne Beitler has been invaluable in this process as well.
Cool. Well, I think we better vote for this preliminary submittal to the EOHLC.
Motion to submit to the EOHLC letter.
Okay. All in favor? Wolf?
Aye.
Tatum?
Aye.
Zigmund?
Aye.
Kid?
Aye.
All right, DeShane, aye. That passes. And we actually, Stephanie, we have another session coming up before the end of the year, right?
Yes. Yes. And we'll get.
That is the in-person open house, but not everyone has to be there. It's not like a planning and zoning board meeting. It's more of a few hours where people can stop by.
Well, I think, you know, we need to talk a little bit more about the structure. So Wayne and I need to get together with Judy Barrett, who is the consultant we're working with. And then certainly we'll talk about it at the next meeting, I would say, and what the structure should be and the role of the board members.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
What are the efforts to publicize that open house?
I'm sorry?
What are the efforts to publicize that open house?
The efforts to publicize it. So I'm open to other suggestions. We will post it on the town web page. We'll post it on the town news item. We will put it in the town crier. We'll put it on we have that MBTA page that we'll post it on. We will put it out on the Facebook. So we're trying to use a lot of the social media. I have in the past, so for the last meeting, I send it out to the various relevant board and committee chairs and ask them to share with their committee members and then with family and friend members. And, ask that you folks do the same thing. We posted a flyer at the library and at Frothingham Hall, which we'll do again. And again, any other public areas like that, we try to hit.
Stephanie, what about civic organizations in town?
Civic organizations,
I can think about the Chamber of Commerce, the Lions Club.
I think we
Rotary.
did to the Chamber of Commerce, but and again, contact information is the key to that. If like the Lions, if you have a way that, I think you're a member of the Lions Club, Amos?
Yeah.
If I'm
Yes.
not mistaken, and I know Dale is, but getting, Lee Williams used to have an email list, and he would distribute it to.
We have that in the club too.
So
Is
Amos,
it-
why don't you just give Stephanie a point of contact where she can email that to? She can
Yes.
she can give one person the Lions the link and they can do what they want with it. Is that
Right, right. Yep, absolutely. So anything like that, if people let me know, we will certainly do our best to get it well publicized.
Okay, great. Well, that's everything on the agenda. Does anyone have anything else? Any other questions or anything? Anything to bring up? No? Okay, well, thanks.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, nice to see you. Have a nice night. Okay.
A
Is there
second?
Okay.
Second.
All in favor? Good.
Aye.
Zygmunt,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
Tatum.
All right.
All right, DeShane, aye. Thanks. Goodbye.
All right,
Good
good
night,
night,
everyone.
everybody. Thank you.
Good night and good luck.